Do you think it was a mistake for Eric Holder not to prosecute bankers who were responsible for the 2008 meltdown?
Just heading in, so let me go.
But you support prosecuting bankers?
I didn't say that.
If you compare the bank failures that took place in the late 80s and the number of prosecutions and convictions compared to 2008, I mean, it's pretty shocking how people's feet were not held to the fire. They were not held accountable.
Do you support prosecuting executives of big banks like Chase and Goldman Sachs for their role in the 2008 financial crisis?
No.
I'm trying to get to a committee hearing right now.
But so you don't support the prosecution of bankers?
If they've broken the law, they need to be prosecuted.
Chase and Goldman Sachs, if they've done anything wrong and done something illegal, should be prosecuted.
Should Eric Holder have prosecuted the executives of the big banks during the financial crisis?
Well, I think that Congress always needs to investigate that. I personally didn't support the bailouts. I don't think that ever needs to happen again, and it's something that this Congress should never let happen again.
So no prosecutions for banking executives?
That what now?
So you don't support prosecuting banking executives?
No, I support prosecuting anyone that violates the law.
Knowing what I know about the toll that the financial meltdown did to ordinary people, to working people, how people lost their equity in their homes, how many of them wound up in bankruptcy, the job loss that occurred, all the stress that families across the country endured. Someone should have been prosecuted. I think people probably should have gone to jail.
I've got a hearing I need to go to, so I'd have to answer that question another time.
But so you don't support prosecuting bankers?
I didn't say that.
Oh, I definitely think that folks should have been investigated. Absolutely.
But prosecuted, do you think that Eric Holder made a mistake in not prosecuting them?
Well, first there's got to be an investigation into them, and then a decision's got to be made about prosecuting them. But I think they should have been investigated, and it looks like people did wrong, so if they did, of course they should have been prosecuted.
Do you support prosecuting executives of big banks like Chase and Goldman Sachs for their role in the 2008 financial crisis?
I'm not familiar with the issue.
You're not familiar with the 2008 financial crisis?
I'm sorry, I'm right now focusing on an energy efficiency meeting I got to get to.
Should Eric Holder have prosecuted the top executives of Chase and Goldman Sachs?
Where are you from?
I'm from the undercurrent. Just want to know if you want to hold the executives of the big banks accountable.
Yes, I do.
I don't know that I know the circumstance you're talking about, but I appreciate the question.
So the fraud that was perpetrated by Chase and Goldman Sachs, the widespread fraud, you don't think that should have been prosecuted by Eric Holder?
Do you want to explain that to me?
Yeah, the predatory mortgages, the predatory lending, the robo-signing of eviction notices and foreclosure.
That doesn't sound like a very good practice.
So you think that Eric Holder should have prosecuted?
I'll need to know a little bit more about the detail on that.
I just wanted to ask you if you support prosecuting the executives of big banks when they commit financial crimes.
Oh, that's too general a question.
Well, for instance, Tim Sloan at Wells Fargo or Jamie Dimon and Lloyd Blankfein from Goldman Sachs during the 2008 financial crisis.
Well, no, I don't think you can answer it that way. We are interested in taking a look at how we can make CEOs more accountable, and we're looking at that based on a lot of factors. And so the question is a little bit too general now, but we are interested in not allowing banks to continue to be fined and that just be the cost of doing business. If we come to a point where we believe there's criminality, then we'll deal with it.
So there should be personal accountability for executives.
What we're doing is we're moving in a direction for accountability for those people who have the position on boards and in management for what takes place in their banks, and we'll figure out what to do about them.
Great. Do you support prosecuting bankers for their role in the financial crisis?
Yes. In fact, I can't believe that none of them haven't gone to prison. What they did was criminal, and there should be some of them in prison right now.
You're here for the financial services hearing, and I'm going to an energy and commerce hearing. So
you don't have an opinion on prosecuting bankers?
I'm going to focus
on the financial meltdown?
Yeah. Thank you.
You don't have any opinion whatsoever? Eric Holder shouldn't have prosecuted?
My focus is on this hearing that's coming up right now. It's what I've been focused on, and so let me keep my train of thought here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that people who broke the law should be prosecuted. I can't make a criminal law decision without the evidence in front of me. I hope that the Southern District of New York carefully reviewed the matter, but of course they didn't indict anybody, so we'll never know.
What statutes have you saying that they violated?
Well, I don't know specific statutes, but I think there was proven evidence of widespread financial fraud from the 2008 financial meltdown. Not to mention the ongoing fraud and abuse from Wells Fargo that's been well documented with CEO Tim Sloan.
That's a so those are two very different questions. And if you're asking me,
well, I said period. Like,
no,
should they be prosecuted for either 2008 or for now?
No. So the first question was, should they be prosecuted for 2008?
Yeah.
I asked you what statutes they violated, and you don't know any of them. So 2 was then Wells Fargo.
So you would disagree that there was widespread financial fraud stemming from the 2008 financial crisis?
I wouldn't, ma'am.
Do you know the exact statutes?
You're the one asking the questions, ma'am. I'm asking you what statute they violated.
Wherever in the chain of command that happened in the ranks of Wells Fargo, I think that that's a massive issue. I don't know how many other examples there are, but you're perpetrating a fraud on clients.
And so should executives be held accountable for that, personally?
Again, I'm not.
Whoever is managing it.
Again, I'm not going to make believe like I know all the facts of that case, but if the facts developed where there was an individual who
had direct knowledge.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Who had direct knowledge of who had direct knowledge of the fraud?
Not just knowledge. I'm talking about someone who actually does this stuff.
But isn't knowledge doing it because they're perpetrating it? They're allowing it to happen.
Again. So in that particular case, we want to go into this world of hypotheticals. I can create a hypothetical where someone commits a crime they should be held responsible for. There should be an internal investigation, there should be an external investigation, and then people should be held accountable if they're perpetrating a fraud on clients.
The current under the surface makes the mainstream get so